The studio lights burned bright, but the tension in the room was even hotter. This wasn't just another political discussion. It was a collision of power, legacy, and ego. On one side sat Donald Trump, radiating confidence and defiance. On the other, Barack Obama, calm, composed, and watching with surgical focus. From the very first moment, it was clear. This wasn't going to be polite. This was going to be personal. Trump wasted no time. Leaning forward, voice booming, he dismissed Obama's legacy as nothing more than polished speeches and empty promises. He painted himself as the man of action, the builder, the fixer, the one who delivered real results. His words were sharp, aggressive, and aimed directly at Obama's core image. For a moment, it looked like classic Trump dominance, fast, loud, overwhelming. But Obama didn't react. He didn't interrupt. He didn't even shift in his chair. He simply watched. Then, when the room had settled into uneasy silence, Obama leaned forward slightly and delivered his first response, quiet, controlled, and devastating. He reframed the entire argument in one line. Results without trust are fragile. It wasn't loud, but it hit harder than anything shouted. The energy in the room shifted instantly. Trump fired back, louder this time, doubling down on strength, loyalty, and one idea he seemed proud to defend: family above everything, above politics, above criticism, even above the system itself. He framed it as strength, as loyalty, as leadership. And that's when Obama made his move. Without raising his voice, he brought Trump's own words back into the spotlight. His 2016 statement: family comes first, even before the country. Then he asked a single question that cut deeper than any attack. When does loyalty stop being strength and start becoming an excuse? You could feel the shift. Not loud, not explosive, just heavy. Trump's confidence cracked for the first time. His tone sharpened. His reactions became faster, more defensive. The rhythm he controlled at the start was slipping. And Obama, still calm, pressed further, not with volume, but with precision. He pointed to patterns, decisions, and contradictions, building pressure step by step instead of striking all at once. The room grew restless. The audience wasn't just watching anymore, they were reacting. Murmurs turned into tension. Tension turned into disbelief. Trump pushed back hard, accusing Obama of hypocrisy, of leveraging power for image and influence. For a moment, the chaos worked in his favor. The noise returned. The clash felt even again. But Obama didn't chase the chaos. He slowed everything down. And then he delivered the line that changed the entire night. Leadership cannot survive where personal loyalty replaces accountability. Not louder, just clearer. And somehow that made it impossible to ignore. From that point on, the energy was different. Trump wasn't controlling the pace anymore. He was reacting to it. His interruptions became sharper, his tone more volatile. The confidence was still there, but now it was fighting against something it couldn't easily overpower: composure. Then came the breaking point. Obama asked one final question, direct, specific, and impossible to dodge. Not a speech, not an attack, just a question that demanded clarity where there had only been deflection. For a brief moment, Trump had no answer. And in live television, silence can be louder than anything else. The reaction was immediate. The audience erupted, some in shock, others in disbelief. The debate had crossed from confrontation into something else entirely, something raw, something unfiltered. Trump stood, visibly furious, rejecting the premise, rejecting the moment, rejecting the pressure. His voice rose, his frustration clear. And then, in a move that sealed the night, he walked off the stage. No closing argument, no final rebuttal, just exit. The cameras stayed, and all that remained was Obama, still seated, still calm, still in control of the moment. He didn't celebrate. He didn't smile. He simply looked into the camera and delivered a closing statement that landed like a final verdict. Leadership is not tested when things are easy. It's tested when truth challenges power. The audience rose to its feet. Applause filled the studio, not sudden but building, wave after wave. Not just for what was said, but for how it was said. Because in the end, this wasn't about who shouted louder. It was about who didn't need to. And as the screen faded to black, one idea lingered longer than the noise, longer than the applause, longer than the spectacle itself. When power depends on loyalty alone, it eventually collapses under the weight of truth.